What's up guys, Surf here, back with another video. Arc 3.0 is finally here, and this is me trying to get a build out as fast as possible to you guys that is actually good. This one's going to be centered around Crown of Tempests and using the Fourth Horseman, as well as getting some melee damage off and just basically doing as much carnage as possible. So let's get straight into the video. I'm going to be using the Chaos Reach super ability here because it does as much DPS as possible to a boss or champion that you're going to be fighting. Then going on to the abilities, I'm going to be using the Healing Rift, just more of a way to gain my health back instead of becoming empowered in a rift. I mean, you can go empowered as well, but I feel like health regeneration here is not totally available. So again, Healing Rift is what I would recommend. Movement ability, it's all up to you guys. I'm going to be using Burst Glide because I find it to be the best. And then going on to the Arc Melee, there are actually two options here. I'm going to be going with Ball Lightning, which basically means you're going to be firing an arc projectile forward that releases a perpendicular lightning strike for a short time, while Amplified Ball Lightning releases an additional lightning strike before detonating. Amplified is a new buff. Basically what Amplified means is your movement speed and weapon handling are greatly increased, and after sprinting for a short time, your movement speed is further increased. Rapidly defeating targets with arc damage makes you amplified. And then from there, we're going on to the grenade. There are a lot of new arc grenades that are really fun to use. This one I feel like is going to be one of the better ones. Plus, it looks really sweet. It's going to be the Storm Grenade. Basically, it's a grenade that you throw, and then it calls down lightning storm that hits multiple times. And the base cooldown is pretty short as well, coming in underneath a minute and 45 seconds. And then moving on to the aspects, the first one we're going to be choosing is going to be Lightning Surge. While sliding, activate your charged melee to blink forward, calling down lightning strikes that jolt targets as you rematerialize. Jolt is a new debuff. Jolt is basically the target is charged with destructive art light. As they take additional damage while being jolted, they chain lightning to nearby targets, kind of getting you more of an add clear type based aspect. And then from there, we're going to move on to the second one, which is going to be Electrostatic Mind. This one, defeating targets with arc abilities or defeating jolted or blinded targets create an Ionic Trace. Collecting Ionic Trace makes you amplified. Just another way to get amplified as well. And then as we move on to the fragments, we're going to be using 4 here. Spark of Beacons is going to be the first one. While you are amplified, your arc special weapon Final Blows create a blinding explosion, which here we're going to be using the Fourth Horseman. Second one is going to be Spark of Resistance. While surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage, which basically just helps you get a little bit of a damage resistant buff going on. You also get plus 10 strength as well. And then we're going to move on to Spark of Momentum. This is going to be sliding over ammo bricks, reloads your equipped weapon, and grants a small amount of melee energy. With the build we're going to be getting, we're going to be running out of ammo and gaining ammo very fast for your shotgun. So I would definitely recommend using this one because it also helps you gain your melee energy. And then from there, the final one is going to be Spark of Frequency. Melee hits greatly increases your reload speed for a short duration. So if you use your shotgun, you melee, and then you reload your shotgun, the reload speed will be very fast, which is going to be very helpful for what we're going to be doing. Real fast, if this helps you out, make sure you leave a like. The dim link should be down in the description and pinned to a comment as soon as dim starts working correctly. And then also subscribe. We got more content coming. Hopefully another Arc 3.0 build cutting your way very soon. But let's move on to the stats that I recommend. Here I'm always going to recommend the 100 resilience so you can get that 40% damage reduction. And then I'm going to recommend strength because you want to use your melee ability as much as possible. And then if you have a third option, my stats here are very high, so I'm going to use discipline as well so you can get that grenade back, so that way you can kind of have all your abilities in your arsenal. And then we're going to move on to the armor and the mods. We're going to start off with the helmet, which the exotic we're going to be using is going to be Crown of Tempests. Basically here, the perk for this exotic is going to be Conduction Tines. Arc ability or Jolt Final Blows increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities and extend the duration of Storm Trance. I'm using this one just for the recharge rate of the arc abilities. I personally am not going to be using Storm Trance, but if you want more of an add clear build, you can definitely switch to that super. I just switched to Chaos Reach because of the damage output it does to bosses. And then for the armor mods, I chose to use a +5 discipline mod, a shotgun ammo finder because we're going to be using a shotgun, a hands-on helmet armor mod, which basically gains bonus super energy on melee kills, and then Well of Ions. Picking up an arc elemental well causes your next to melee to deal increased damage. This build is very much centered around melee and your shotgun. Moving on to the second armor piece, the arms, I chose to use a +5 strength mod. I chose to use the new seasonal mod, Unstoppable Shotguns. Shotguns you wield fire a powerful explosive payload that stuns unshielded combatants. It is very strong against unstoppable champions as well. And then I used a shotgun loader, so it increases the reload speed of shotguns because the reload speed on 4th Horseman is pretty slow. And then the final one I used would be Elemental Charge. Become charged with light by picking up an elemental well. If the elemental well's element type matches your subclass element, then you gain 2 stacks of charge with the light. Moving on to the chest piece, I chose to use Thermo Shock Plating, which is the new seasonal armor mod. It reduces incoming solar damage from combatants, and then it also does arc damage as well, so you're going to be covered on solar and arc damage. Then I chose to use the melee damage resist because we're going to be getting close up with the shotgun and melee attacks. And then the last one I chose to use was Heavy-Handed. While charged with light, regain half of your melee ability when you use a charged melee ability. It consumes 1 stack of charge with light, and then while you're surrounded by multiple combatants and you do that, defeating a combatant with a submachine gun or a shotgun, it'll add ammo to our weapon reserves. So a little easier way to get ammo back while still using the gun. And then from there, moving on to the leg armor, I chose to use a +10 discipline mod so I can get my grenade gen up. And then I'm going to be using Shotgun Scavenger. It's just going to make us be able to get bonus reserves when picking up ammo used by the shotgun. And then we're going to use Innervation, which reduces grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. And then the last one we're going to be using is Elemental Armaments. Combatant weapon final blows with the same damage type matches your subclass will have an escalating chance to spawn an elemental well. So once you're doing these mid to high end content, you're going to be using your shotgun probably a little bit more, and it's going to be able to get you the elemental wells. That'll be able to get you the other buffs here. And then finally onto the Warlock Bond, I chose to use a +10 strength mod so I can get my melee ability up as fast as possible. I am using the Bad Amplitude class item mod. Damaging a champion with an arc ability causes the champion to become jolted. And then from there we're going to be using Outreach, reduces melee cooldown when you're using your class ability, which is going to be your Rift. And then finally, Radiant Light. Casting your super causes nearby allies to become charged with light, so you can help out your teammates there. And most importantly, you're going to get +20 strength from this as well. So this will help you get a higher number stat for your build. And then just going over the weapons I use here quickly. For this build, I'm going to be using an SMG. I'm using the Extraordinary Rendition. The build I have is going to be Overflow and One for All with a minor spec mod on top of it. Then I'm going to be using the exotic, the 4th Horseman shotgun. The weapon trait on this is the weapon's rate of fire is significantly increased and it fires full auto. And not only that, each successive shot has more damage and more spread because of another trait on top of the shotgun. So the shotgun is arc damage and it does a lot of damage, especially if you're using on champions, like the champion mod that we have as well. And then last but not least, I ended up using a Tarnation grenade launcher just because it was arc, and a lot of people have been talking about it lately, so I figured I'd give it a little try. The perks on it I have are Pulse Monitor and Wellspring. Pretty awful perks on it, but I have a crafted one. I'm just trying to level it up for now. And that's pretty much it over the whole build. The first ARC 3.0 build I made. I'm going to have a Titan one out hopefully shortly. So make sure you leave a like if this helped you out. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go down to the description or the comment section and check out the dim link as well. Stay tuned to the channel. And that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.